In life, not all prisons have bars. Some are woven with emotions subtle, unseen, yet deeply binding. When we talk about being emotionally trapped, it's not a matter of physical restraint. It's about how our internal world becomes influenced, entangled, and often overshadowed by the behaviors of others, especially those who carry toxic intentions. Toxic people do not always raise their voice. Sometimes they simply sow seeds of doubt, cultivate guilt, and make you question your own value. This is not done out of love, but control. Their strength does not lie in their presence, but in how they manipulate your thoughts even when they are absent. It is essential to recognize these invisible chains before you can break them. Ask yourself, why do I feel this unease? Why do I constantly need their approval, their affection, or even their acknowledgement? Awareness is the first light in a dark cave. It does not yet free you, but it shows you the way out. Many times, these chains are accepted because they feel familiar. Maybe they resemble something from childhood. Maybe we believe suffering is part of love. But no true connection is built on emotional imprisonment. Begin by observing not with judgment, but with clarity. In silence, you often hear the truth the loudest. Guilt, when self-reflected, can guide us toward betterment. But when imposed by others, it becomes a weapon. Toxic individuals use guilt like a sculptor uses clay. They mold you, reshape your priorities, and erase your boundaries. One of the most common ways they trap you is by making you feel responsible for their emotions. You make me feel this way, they say. And slowly, you begin to carry a burden that was never yours to hold. That burden weighs on your spirit and clouds your judgment. Understand, you are not responsible for how others choose to process their emotions. You can offer compassion, yes, but you must never offer your freedom in exchange. Emotional maturity is knowing where your responsibility ends and another's begins. To free yourself from this trap, return to self-honesty. Ask, is this guilt coming from something I did wronger, from someone else's unwillingness to face their own emotions? Liberation comes not through rebellion, but by seeing clearly what was never your burden in the first place. Often, control wears the mask of care. I just want what's best for you, they say. But observe closely, does their care empower you? Or does it make you feel smaller, more dependent, less certain of yourself? True concern encourages your growth and independence. Toxic concern, however, shrinks you. It doubts your choices, mocks your intuition, and constantly reminds you that without them, you might fail. This is not love, it is subtle domination. The path of the practitioner teaches us to listen beyond words. It is not enough to hear what is said. You must also feel the intention behind it. If someone's guidance always leads you away from your own strength, then it is not guidance, it is a leash. Detach not with anger, but with understanding. You do not need to argue, simply step back. Like muddy water settling in stillness, truth becomes clear when the noise ends. Let your actions speak your independence. Those who love you will not need to clip your wings to keep you close. Emotions are not just psychological, they are energetic. Every interaction is an exchange of energy. Some people uplift you, others leave you feeling exhausted, confused, and unsettled. This is not accidental. Toxic people thrive on emotional chaos. They create scenarios where you are constantly defending yourself, explaining yourself, proving yourself. Every time you do, you are spending energy. They rarely reciprocate. Instead, they absorb your light and offer nothing in return. This is not balance, it is spiritual theft. The solution is not confrontation, it is conservation. Conserve your energy by limiting access. Create inner stillness so that external chaos does not penetrate you. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It's necessary for your spiritual journey. The Shaolin path teaches us to observe before reacting, to withdraw when necessary, and to strike only when it serves a higher purpose. In the same way, disengaging from toxic energy is not weakness, it is wisdom. Many of us remain in emotionally draining relationships out of a sense of duty, but they are family. They've done so much for me. They need me. These are powerful illusions deeply rooted in cultural and emotional conditioning. Obligation becomes toxic when it overrides your well-being. Relationships must be mutual, not transactional. When someone uses your sense of duty to control you, they are not honoring the bond, they are exploiting it. Duty without joy becomes servitude, and servitude over time kills the spirit. You do not owe your peace to anyone who thrives on your suffering. Even in the temple, monks bow not to humans, but to principles, to truth, to compassion, to balance. Reclaim your sense of obligation. Let it be directed not outwardly to manipulators, but inwardly to your own healing, your own growth, your own path. That is a duty worth keeping. Toxic dynamics often follow a predictable pattern: idealization, devaluation, and discard. First, they praise you, admire you, and make you feel seen. This state hooks you to feel good to be valued, but slowly they shift. They begin to criticize you subtly, question your worth, compare you to others. You try harder to gain their approval back. This is the trap. The more you give, the less they appreciate. Until one day, they disappear, or worse, treat you with indifference. This cycle is not love. It is emotional addiction. And like all addictions, it thrives on highs and lows. The practitioner must train the mind to recognize patterns, not just behaviors. When you see the pattern, you no longer fall into it. Withdraw your attention. Recenter your focus on inner stability. Emotional chaos loses its power over those who are inwardly anchored. This is not coldness, it is mastery. Toxic people often discourage expression. They label your emotions as overreactions. They accuse you of being too sensitive. In doing so, they train you to suppress your voice. Over time, you begin to silence yourself just to maintain peace. But peace that requires your silence is not peace, it is suppression. And suppressed emotions do not disappear. They turn inward. They become anxiety, fatigue, even illness. The body keeps the score of all the words left unsaid. In Shaolin philosophy, the breath is truth. What we exhale, we release. What we hold in, we carry. Let yourself speak not to hurt, but to heal. Expressing is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are alive, aware, and aligned with your inner reality. You do not need to scream. Sometimes the firm whisper of self-honor is louder than 1,000 arguments. Speak, and more importantly, listen to your own voice. Toxic bonds often persist because of a deep-rooted fear. If I let go, I will be alone. This fear is powerful. It tells you that even a harmful connection is better than emptiness. But understand aloneness is not the enemy. It is the space in which healing begins. What you are afraid of is not solitude, it is the confrontation with self. In the silence, your wounds surface, but it is only by facing them that you transcend them. Toxic people delay this healing by keeping you distracted, dependent, disconnected from your essence. The monk does not fear solitude, he embraces it. For it is in solitude that the noise of the world fades and the truth of the soul rises. Learn to be with yourself. Trust that your company is enough. Freedom is not the absence of people, it is the absence of chains. Let go, and in letting go, find not abandonment but arrival. Toxic people provoke. They know which buttons to press. They thrive on your reactivity because when you react, they control the narrative. They make you the angry one, the unreasonable one, the one who needs to calm down. This is not coincidence, it is strategy. The practitioner, however, does not reap the response, and even then, only when necessary. Emotional mastery is not about suppression, it is about direction. Like water in a riverbed, emotions must be guided, not dammed. When you no longer react to provocation, you remove the toxic person's power. Your stillness becomes their confusion. Your peace becomes your shield. In this way, you are not fighting them, you are transcending them. Let them see that you are not who they believed you were, not a puppet of emotions, but a master of them. That is true power. To walk away from toxicity is not an act of hate. It is an act of love for your own soul, your future, your inner peace. The Shaolin path does not teach us to fight unnecessarily. It teaches us to walk away when the fight leads to destruction. Liberation does not always feel good at first. It may come with grief, confusion, and loss. But slowly, clarity replaces chaos. Peace replaces tension, and silence begins to feel like home again. The journey of self-mastery is not about perfect relationships. It is about conscious ones. Choose what nurtures your spirit. Release what poisons your growth. Not in anger, but in understanding. Not in bitterness, but in gratitude for the lesson. And remember, you are not here to be caged. You are here to rise, to awaken, and to walk freely. With every step away from toxicity, you step deeper into your true self. That is the path. That is the way.